People coming, people going, things here, things there. And suddenly, as you bring an inner alignment to the now, something arises within you that has nothing to do with the form that this moment takes. And it arises because you allow the form that this moment takes to be as it is. So in allowing the form that this moment takes, internally embracing it, saying, I might as well say yes because it is life, because it is the only moment there ever is, the now. I might as well embrace it and say, yes, that's how it is. This does not diminish your ability to change if anything needs changing. Action arises out of the alignment with what is. So you can be aligned with getting something that is not good. You can have food that's gone cold or something, and then you bring it back to the kitchen and you say, this food is cold, would you please heat it up again if it's possible? Nothing wrong with that. But it's the action comes out of alignment. The same action could arise out of an inner resistance to what is, and then there's immediately self comes in, a complaining self, a self that enhances itself through its complaints, and then walks with the same action, but with a fundamentally different energy field. You then walk with that plate to the kitchen and say, what is this? Don't you know? Don't you heat your food here? What you should be serving hot. You are in this. Your action is to enhance yourself through it, to make the self right, to strengthen the fiction of me, and then you do that to another human, and that other human is going to defend itself and try to react in order to resist the diminishment of their sense of self, because that's what the ego tends to do. It says you are wrong. It tries to diminish the fiction of that other person, and then the other will defend itself and come up with even bigger cannons and start shouting back at you in order to defend its diminishment of, again, the diminishment of the fiction. What a world. So you could live, when you live in alignment with what is, intelligence arises in your life that is far greater than the accumulated knowledge of the mind or the ability of the mind to analyze or solve IQ problems or crossword puzzles. That's a very tiny form of intelligence. Nothing wrong with it, but it's tiny. But that's what this world calls intelligence. You can memorize and analyze and be quick in giving answers, manipulate thoughts, and keep as many thoughts as possible in your head. And yet there's a far deeper intelligence that our civilization knows nothing of. And is that out of which all true creation comes, true creativity comes. And so that is accessed when you bring a yes, no more than that, a yes to the present moment. That, by the way, includes the past, because there are some people who carry a strong grievance or resentment connected with something that happened in the past. Somebody did it to you, or a situation happened in the past, and there's still a strong grievance that they carry. And how does that work when I say accepting the present moment? Accepting the present moment, the way it is now, includes accepting the past, because it is only because you believe that something that happened in the past is interfering somehow with your ability to be alive or to be yourself or to be fully yourself at this moment. You're saying, okay, maybe you lost a limb or something like that. Somebody cut it off 10 years ago. And you carry the grievance. So how does, when you accept this moment as it is, you accept this as it is. One limb is missing. That is as it is. That is the form that this moment takes. Well, and you accept that this is how it is. Then you don't have the reference to the past anymore as having caused that, and on the level of form, of course, that is a disability. It prevents you from winning Wimbledon this year. You can't do it anymore. Yes, on the level of form, perhaps that imposed some limitation on your life. But the world is full of limitations that are inherent in form. If it's not one set of limitations, you will encounter some other set of limitations. So there's almost never a present moment that does not have certain limitations. Even the noise coming occasionally from the Air Force base next door could be considered a kind of limitation. Or even if you can't get a good night's sleep because your roommate snores, could be considered as a relatively minor limitation in your life. But there are large limitations, and they're also to do with the world of form, and that's what the world of form does. You can exchange limitations. You can, of course, improve your life on the level of form. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as you're not looking for yourself in it. It's beautiful to play with forms in your life. Okay, I'm going to make money now. I'll play with that. But not hoping that once you've made enough, then you can finally be someone. If you're not someone now, being, you cannot find it through money or through future. Then you can play with the world of form, and the miraculous thing is, when you drop your demands towards the world of form, that it should make you happy, then wherever you find yourself, whatever situation you find yourself in, whoever you meet, wherever you go, place, situation, person, is actually quite satisfying, because you have touched something within yourself that is deeper than the movement of thought, which is form, deeper than form. The movement of thought is still form. So the simple thing of internally bringing a yes to this moment, is that all? Yes, but it needs, for you to do that, requires a certain degree of presence, to be able to say, this is as it is, instead of being taken over by an old reactive pattern, governed by the fictitious self that says, this doesn't fit into the story of me, or how can I fit this into this isn't completing my story, in fact, this shouldn't be in my story at all, get out of here. So many people, they're walking stories. Often when they meet other humans, they don't want to be with other humans. Say, get out of my story, you shouldn't be in here. I want somebody else in here. And again, so you step beyond, you step out of the movement of thought. And the stillness and the peace arises the moment you become friendly with what is. That's all, to become friendly with what is, no matter what form this is takes. It's going to change anyway, quite soon. And people who are stuck for years are usually stuck because there is a resistance pattern inside them that keeps them stuck in the same situation. And the resistance pattern says, I want to get out of this dreadful place that I'm in, and every day they go to the office and they say this is, and the same energy is there, the negativity and the resistance, and every time they answer the phone, then, yes. And so you get some people, traditionally it's people at government offices who carry a lot of frustration. I don't know if that's still true, probably is. They're everywhere these days. And so you people are continuously, and they say, why am I stuck in this boring job with all these dreadful people? They always want something from me. And so 25 years later, they're still stuck and complaining. And then they hear the message, it is possible to live differently. It is possible to say yes, not say yes to a story, not say yes to, okay, I might as well accept that I've spent 25 years in this dreadful office and I'm probably going to spend another 10 years in this dreadful office. I might as well say yes to that because I read that in a book somewhere. No, this has nothing to do. This has nothing to do with bringing a yes to some kind of story about your life, or if you were in prison to say, okay, I might as well accept that everything has failed in my life, and I've been in here for 20 years, and I've got to do another 15 years, and I might as well accept that I've been a miserable failure. Nothing. Saying yes to the present moment only means the present moment, not a story.